What's up, guys? Welcome back to Talking Blue. I'm Matthew Mooney alongside Luke Langella. It's been a little while since we filmed an episode, but we're back. Sorry we're late for this. We're going to be talking about the Giants' schedule. So, my first opinion on this schedule absolutely sucks. All right. Um, Four of the first 11 games are home. We have seven road games early on, and the league is just like at this point trying to screw us over. I am very upset
Yeah.
with what happened. What do you think
Well,
about it?
we've seen this a lot. Good teams, they get they get to play good teams the next year. So the Giants obviously had an excellent year last year, way above anyone's expectations going to the divisional round. So I think they gave us a tough schedule. When you play good games, and like the scheduling works on how you play and what your record was last year. So they gave us a lot of good games, and I think this is a great test for the Giants. Show what they're really made of. A lot of the games last year, they beat some bad teams and they had some close games. This year, it's a good schedule, and they're going to have to show up.
I agree with you. We actually have competition. So first game of the season we're playing the Cowboys, who are going to be a good team this year. Then we have the Cardinals, who I think are going to be like one of the worst teams in football. Um since they're going to be without Kyler Murray for like the first 6 or 7 games of the season, they're going to like have a very bad record to
Yeah,
start out the year. Then we got the
but
49ers, who are the best team
let's
in the
not
NFC.
forget, just to cut you off for a second, let's not forget the Giants never make it easy. So a game like the Cardinals, the Rams, all those teams that were bad last year, and they may even be bad this year. The Giants, it's never an easy win. It's going to come down to the wire. I think we could expect that,
Oh yeah, I
and
agree.
I think you don't know. It's going to really depend on how we show up. But keep on going. Let's keep on going.
So yeah, I think this is a horrible schedule. I don't know what the hell whoever made this schedule is thinking. Whoever made this clearly hates the Giants and is just
Yeah,
trying to give us the worst season possible. We have very little rest between
we don't
so
have a bye till week 13.
yeah, that's like one of the worst parts of the schedule. But like
Yeah.
what really annoys me is that we have the Arizona game at 4 o'clock, then we have Thursday night football, and that's not like as much time to rest as you think
Yeah.
it is. And then at least for Thursday night, then the next game's a Monday night game for Seattle at home. But still we don't
But
get a lot of
remember,
time.
last year we got beat up with injuries. Playing a lot of games is going to take a toll on these games, and a lot of these games away, a lot of traveling, so not a lot of time at home where you're recovering and rehabbing. So again, like you just said, it's going to be hard for these players to stay healthy. The Giants have always had health problems with their players, but when you're playing a lot of games, a lot of prime time games, when you're playing prime time, you're a lot of times playing games closer. The Giants' schedule this year is like that as well.
Yeah, I agree. I just also don't like that we have Miami then to Buffalo. That's like a lot
Yeah,
to travel
we're playing
to.
the whole AFC East.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. And then we have after that, then we have the Redskins and then the Jets both at home, thankfully. And then right after that, we're on the road yet again. Then we go out to Vegas, then to Dallas, and then to Washington. Then we're home, then to play New England, and then we go on our bye, which we are gonna very much need. And
We
then we
will.
play Green Bay at home on prime time, which is gonna be a very exciting game. Then we got um the Saints in New Orleans, and then the Eagles in Philadelphia, and then we come home to play the Rams and Eagles. It's
Yeah,
a
but let's not forget
yeah.
we stuck on prime time as well. So we didn't get a gift on that one. We have six prime time games this year. Some games could get flexed down the road with depending on how the Giants play. So we've never played well at nighttime, but we're gonna have to show up because if we go 0-6 on prime time this year and we don't do well in the division, we're gonna have a top 10 draft pick, which is not what we need right now.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Top 10 draft picks are great. The Giants had picks 5 and 7 in 2022, but like we gotta avoid having
Yeah, we don't want
a
that.
very high first round pick.
We want, here's the deal with the schedule. Last year I felt like the Minnesota Vikings were a good team, but I didn't think they were a great team. I think the Eagles. I'd say the Eagles were a good team, but I just don't think we were ready. I think our schedule was kind of weak last year, and yeah, there was
Yeah,
talent, and we played well against the talent, but there was a few games that we just couldn't stay in it, like against Seattle, against Philly, against Dallas. We got slaughtered. We couldn't stay in the game. So this year, you really got to come back and you got to win these interdivision games. You got to beat Philly, you got to beat Dallas, and you got to beat the Commanders. You can't win one game and tie another game, and that's it for the division. you're going to have to win at least half the games in the division to make the playoffs. I'm saying this now. I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants go 8 or 9 and miss the playoffs this year because of the lack of not being able to win the division.
Yeah, that's been a struggle for the Giants over the years. This offseason has been like a big step up for us. Like we've gotten like
Big receiver core.
Yeah, like we're much more improved. I think we'll definitely be able to compete with Dallas. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think we could compete with Philadelphia this season?
Yeah, I was just looking this. This is all over. You're seeing this all over in a ton of articles.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's really going to be the real answer. Like last year, we just had no answer. No answer. We played them 3 times, and we got, the practice squad game. I don't count. No one was trying that game. But the 2 games when their best was against our best, we stunk. We couldn't get anything going, and they just every time we got a little momentum, they took it away. They're a great team. They have a quarterback that can throw and run. They have a great run game, but they have a great pass attack. They're a very hard team to cover. Yes, Philly lost a lot of guys this year, but I think they're well coached by Nick Sirianni, who I don't like, but he's a good coach. They have a good general manager who had a great depth. Handing the ball off to Saquon Barkley is going to be tough. You're running into a big Georgia defense.
Yeah.
The Georgia Eagles.
I think we've really closed the gap. I don't know about like 100%, like very close because now like instead of just having Saquon Barkley, we have Darren Waller as our tight end, an improved offensive line plus
and don't forget
Paris Campbell and Jalen Hyatt.
I was just reading this. Talking about the running back room. Matt Breida may get demoted. Eric Gray has looked good in rookie minicamp, coming off a great season at Oklahoma, 1,300 rushing yards. Do not be surprised if Eric Gray gets a ton of work this year, way more than we've seen in the last few years. The Giants haven't had a second running back in a while, so look out to see him on the field. You're gonna need when Saquon gets tired, you're gonna need another guy in there.
Yeah, I think Eric Gray is going to be a very good, solid second string running back, him or Matt Breida. But let's go into our record predictions right now, like with like what we think is going to happen.
Okay, so you go. We'll go through the game. We'll go win or loss. So you start us off week 1, Dallas, Sunday night.
Okay, so I'm not going to be talking about the preseason games because no one cares about those. But anyways, here's the regular season. I think win versus Dallas, win versus Arizona, lose versus San Francisco, lose versus Seattle. Calling it now, upset win versus Miami.
I can see them beating Miami.
Yeah. Lose versus Buffalo, win versus the Redskins, Jets, and Raiders. Lose versus the Cowboys, beat the Redskins again, Patriots, Packers, and Saints. Lose versus the Eagles, and beat the both Rams and Eagles at MetLife. I think we will split with the Eagles. I think we can beat them once.
What's that bring you to?
12-5.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go 12-5. Mainly because I think we're gonna lose 4 games this year in our division. I think we'll sweep Washington this year.
I agree.
Or split with one of the teams. But I do think we'll lose 4 games in the division this year. Not that I'm not confident in the Giants. I just think they're not there yet. They haven't completely closed the gap yet. And I think that's too big. I'm going to go 9-8. I think we're going to slip in the wild card. And I think we're going to go far in the playoffs this year. But I don't see us blowing the NFL out of the water in the regular season. And I don't see us going 6-1 in the first games. I think it's going to be a slower start. But I do see the Giants in the playoffs and making a good run. But probably not with a crazy amount of wins.
Right.
That's my prediction. And Matthew, anything else you got to say about the schedule?
Yeah, I mean, like I know I said I think we're gonna win 12 games. I think we've really closed that gap and we're more of like a competitive team this year, but like Super Bowl is like not yet something I'm looking at. I'm thinking like I think we can definitely I could see it happening. I think we'll at least be in the divisional round at the end of this season. And like, if anyone told you that if you told someone like back in August, that the Giants were gonna win a playoff game this year, anyone would have laughed at you.
Yeah. I think it's really gonna come down to can this team stay humble. I felt like last year going to the playoffs, I felt like not that we lost humble, but I felt like we read into the papers because the second half of the year was horrible. It was just.
Yeah,
that's the way to describe it. We didn't win games that we should have won. We shouldn't have lost to the Detroit Lions. Yes, Detroit finished strong. We should have tied Washington. There was just some bad performances. I think we read into the paper a little too much. I think we need to stay humble, 1 week at a time.
All right. So that was like really it for the video. I have a couple closing statements. I know I said 12-5. I don't think we're gonna be like that dominant. I think a couple of our big wins, like the upset versus Miami, I think is gonna come down to like the final second of the game. I think, and like the win versus the Eagles, that's not gonna be a gimme. I think we're gonna pull off a couple upsets. But, like, some of the, wins versus, like it depends who we're playing, but, like, most of our some of our wins are not gonna be, like, very impressive, I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Well, I'm going to say this. This is going to be my final statement. I think out of 17 games, I think 15 of the 17 games will be one-score games. I say we're in every single game, but it's going to be hard to win every single close game. Minnesota did it last year, but it's really hard to win all your one-score games. But I do see the Giants being successful, and I do see them keeping it close in almost every single game.
I agree. I think, like, I was talking about how we closed the gap with the Eagles, like, offensively. I didn't get to the defense yet. I definitely think they still have a better defense than us on paper. I
Yeah.
genuinely do. I think we've closed the gap, though. I think, the run defense has gotten a lot better. Like, we had Leonard Williams and
You got
Dexter
some big
Lawrence.
guys.
Yes, that's not enough. Okay, they're too good in our defensive linemen, but now we added Ashawn Robinson and Raheem Nunez Roches to the defensive line. So, like, if God forbid anyone gets injured, we got some more backup,
Solid guys.
and there's a lot of depth there. The one thing I think the Giants should really focus on, I think we should sign like a few outside linebackers because like we all it is on our edges Thibodeau and Aziz and like also Jahad Ward, who's like really not that good. Um,
Justin Houston is a guy I'm interested in. Baltimore Van Wing system. That's for another day, though. I think that's pretty much it in the video. We'll keep on posting content. When we do, not much news going on, but it's still we're getting closer to football season, to first preseason games. That's it for me. Matthew, anything else?
that's it. I'm just excited for the first preseason game versus
Yep.
Carolina. Hope I'll likely be there, and yeah, that's really it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and go Giants. See you later.